Hello, Leo. Let's look at your 2024, the whole year ahead. You might want to save this video and come back to it over the coming months. I see your overall energy, which kind of lingers into 2023, is something where it's like, oh, well, that didn't work out, and that didn't work out, and that didn't work out. And it's just a series of losses or a series of disappointments that have kind of been lurking. I hear stalking, okay? So take that, obviously, everything, all my messages with a grain of salt. But it's kind of like, well, that's not going to work out. You've got this defeatist kind of attitude. But it's really important that you realize that there's still opportunities at hand. And hopefully the Leo full moon that we've just had gives you a dose of confidence to go, do you know what? I've spilt over this many cups. Like, I've spilt the milk this many times, unintentionally for a lot of us. But I can still try again. The sun will rise again, and you are the sun, so try again, right? So I get this energy of like, okay, this year, 24, you're kind of like threatening the year. You're kind of like, you better show up because I'm going to show up. So you better show up. I love that. Look, and I think January, at least the second half of January, I feel like right now is such a lucky time. So if it hasn't gone smooth sailing yet, be prepared because I feel like you're about to win. Okay, again, massive grain of salt with that one. Don't expect things to just fall in your lap. I feel like there's success coming. I feel like there's recognition. There's a platform. Okay, so especially if you're on social media, especially if you're going for a promotion, if it's the new year and you're like, all right, here I am, going for that new role and there's competition at hand, I feel like you're going to get pushed forward in some way, shape or form. It's like you get the upper hand this time. You get the stage, okay? So all eyes on us. Love that for you. All eyes on us. Love that for you. I feel a bit of celebration maybe playing a part in February. Perhaps it could be overdoing the celebratory attitude, or it could be going too hard and fast at something where it feels a little bit addictive, it feels a little bit obsessive, it feels a little bit out of balance, it feels like, oh, hang on, let me just readjust, okay? So beware that February, thank goodness being a short month, is just a month where you might feel, let's call it like teething pains, where you're just kind of working things out about, okay, well, how much do I take on and how, and especially if there's a interesting crossover period between you being at one position and then you coming into the next position. If you're still working, 3 jobs, but your own business is doing really well all of a sudden, you've got this really workaholic kind of attitude coming through here. But if it has anything to do with overdoing partying, just be aware that could diminish the shine from what it was that you have achieved or are about to achieve. Or this year I feel like is all about achievement for you. In March, I feel you coming back into a place of, okay, ground yourself. Like you got really heady for a minute there. Ground yourself in the work, and not just the work, but the inside work, okay? Bringing your life back into balance. And it might be a case of, do you know what? I was so excited about that thing, but now I realize that not everyone needs to know what I am doing 24/7. Keeping certain things private in order to not be fooled or manipulated, or not meaning to put too much pressure on yourself. Sometimes when we tell people our plans, we feel extra pressure to go the extra mile to make sure that it is done amazingly and like over deliver. Okay, so coming back into balance in March, and I feel really connecting with your soul. The reason why you're doing this in the first place is super, super important. In April and May, actually even April, May and June, I see a lot of transitionary energy. So you could actually be moving. But I feel like if you're not physically moving home, if you're not physically moving cities, countries, it's really about like cleaning up the clutter emotionally, mentally, and physically. Even energetically, where are you over giving to people still? Because no, we're balanced now. We want to make sure things are done. Do them once, do them right, and do them on time, and then that's it. Like we don't need to take it all home with us and lose sleep because someone else isn't putting in the same amount. I see you're actually like reducing your load. So putting down a lot of burdens and responsibilities, walking away from people, places, and things, and especially energetically, you're moving away from people, places, things, thoughts, and behaviors that no longer serve you emotionally. And I think that brings you to a really lovely place by the time of your birthday of feeling cool, calm, collected, and centered, and almost like, okay, now I've got this new room is how it appears. It's like you've created a healing room inside of you, thanks to Nate O'Connor, and it really feels like, okay, from here now I can focus on me. So all this clearing, all this prep has brought you to July where you're like, I'm on a distraction diet, like no thank you. Even like what you look at, you're scrolling on the internet. No, I don't want it. The gossip, the nasty people, the toxic thoughts, the guilty thought patterns, perhaps, where, oh, I'm afraid I'm succeeding and that's putting some people out. No, be a Leo. And I see that you actually go into this place of really achieving financial, material success. It could even be redecorating, but you're just blinders on. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing it for me. And it's my birthday season, like the whole month. Thank you very much. I'm good. You know, I really love that for you. In August, I see that you're really living the dream that you thought that you had. You know, when you wake up one day, well, at least you've read the quotes, right? Where you wake up one day and all of a sudden you're living the life that you always dreamed you would have. That happens in August. That happens in your birthday season. So really be grateful. I really think that Five of Cups energy that is like overarching of the lingering energy of 2023 is this, well, gratitude. I'm so lucky I had the opportunity to make those mistakes, or to even have a loss, or to even try, or even just be here. And so this gratitude really comes into play in August, where you go, do you know what? I can do anything from here, and what I've achieved is so amazing. I should be really proud of myself, even if sometimes it might feel lonely, okay? If you might be surrounded by people, but you kind of are doing something here by yourself, you're okay with that, but your life is looking really freaking good. September, I see a lot of like contradictory energy. It's like, it's not so contradictory in the fact that, you know, it just feels balanced. It feels tempered. Let's say that. It feels like, okay, we've got really incredible positive moments, but then we're also really perhaps battling with that energy of, well, I don't know where to from here. There's not entire clarity around when will this end? When will, you know, I've set this new thing up. I've moved in this new direction. I've got this dream life, but now what's next? I think it's that kind of energy of like, what's going to go wrong? Sagittarius had a similar energy, but for you guys, it's like, it's an internal thing. And I think that you're kind of really talking to yourself. You're giving inner Leo a little pep talk and saying, well, what if pigs could fly for me? I also feel like you're giving yourself a bit of an apology for where you, like, gosh, it's this good. Why didn't I do this sooner? Okay. But don't beat yourself up here, because it had to be like this perfect timing. In October, I see that there's a lot of new love coming through, and that's going to put your mind at ease, especially if you feel like you know, I'm at this point, no one's ever going to reach me. I know that sounds a bit cocky, but that's not what I mean. It's kind of like, I'm hearing no man is an island. So you thought you had to do things by yourself. I really see that your mental, some overthinking about relationships seems to be eased, because in October there's this beautiful self-love coming through. It feels like September's apology to yourself worked. And whether you're in a relationship or you're attracting a new relationship in October, it just feels very mentally fulfilling as well. Could be very intellectual, like taking your relationship to a new intellectual level. In November, I see you taking leaps of faith. And in December, I really see that it's paying off, but it's up-leveling you again, okay? So there is a curiosity you start following, and you're like, well, in September, I was a little confused about what was happening next. In December, I'm like, well, here we go. Let's keep going. We learn a little more. We grow a little more. We beat another mental battle, and we keep going and we keep going. It feels very seeking, so it could result in some, you know, eat, pray, love type of travel for you. But it feels really fruitful. Yeah, enjoy the magic of 2024, Leo. I really feel like you've come into your magician era, and you realizing that is a visionary moment, is a moment of like, okay, now I can play. Have fun.